You found the GroomPod. Welcome to our virtual salon. My name is Susie, and I'm your host. I'm a mobile groomer from Seattle, Washington, and anybody who knows me will tell you I love to talk, especially about my job. And one of my favorite people to talk to is my friend and mentor and the co-star of this show, the curator of ingredients, Miss Barbara Bird.
Hey, Susie, I am so ready for this episode today. I can't wait to talk to our guest.
Me either. Welcome to episode 442 of the GroomPod, recorded on March 23rd, 2025 in Snohomish, Washington, Greenville, South Carolina, and New York, New York. So nice, you gotta say it twice. This podcast is brought to you by our kind sponsors, Best Shot, Show Season, Precision Sharp, Groomore, and Stasco. And if you guys would like to support the show, you can do so at our website, thegroompod.com, and you can use the donation button and it'll go straight to Barbara, or you can join us on Patreon. By the way, don't forget to check out the new blog posts that are up. Woohoo! This week on the GroomPod, we are talking to the Dogfather of Harlem, Brian Taylor, and it has been since COVID. Yeah, when we talked to you last. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always good to speak to you ladies. You guys make things fun for me, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, what's new this week is really what's old with Brian. Brian, give us a little of your history to remind the people who weren't here with us in 2019 or 20 or whenever that was that we last talked to you.
Absolutely. My name is Brian Taylor, and I own a business called Harlem Doggy Day Spa. But most people know me as the Dogfather of Harlem, and I created a nonprofit called the Pup Relief Tour during COVID. And the idea around Pup Relief Tour was to get groomers together, especially black and brown groomers from all over the country, to go around and help people in need. So we started in New York and we ended in California. And ever since then, we've done 16 different states where we offered free grooming services, dog grooming, cat grooming, education. We did a lot of collaboration with brands. We did a lot of amazing stuff with people. And so far, over 100 different groomers have volunteered their time to give back. And we groom over 1,800 dogs. But what happened in 2023, some of the groomers from West Africa, these individuals were learning how to groom on YouTube, reached out to me like, hey, when are you coming to Nigeria and Ghana? I was like, really? There are groomers in Nigeria and Ghana? So I started following them on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I just noticed how much work and dedication they have with no real tools. So I'm like, you know what? Let me plan this. So I started doing a campaign about raising money to go to Nigeria. And in 2023, going to 2024, we went to Nigeria for 3 weeks. We worked at this veterinary office called Critters, and we had about 25 individuals who learned how to groom on YouTube and also on TikTok. And plus, some of them have been following me for a long time. And we did a workshop. We did a workshop with our experienced groomer from the States. And it was one of the most amazing experience ever, because what's happening in these countries, when you think about wealth, like wealth has certain standards. Like in the States, you have a big house, or you might have a car, or your kids go to a wonderful school. While in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, a status of wealth now is having a fluffy white dog.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, that is well groomed, that matches the aesthetics of having a big house, a Mercedes Benz. It's like having the new Hermes Gucci bag when their dog is fluffy and they can put it on their social media. So it brought this unique industry there where before it was mostly vets who take care of the animals for vaccines. Now you have individuals who are learning dog grooming on their own, and they're calling themselves dog groomers. And the crazy thing about all of this, right, is that a doodle in Nigeria is done for like $22. So that doodle that may be 125 and up here, they're doing it for $22. But $22 for a doodle,
That's a long way.
it's still a lot of money, because an average banker is only making $100 to $200 a month. So if they groom 3 to 4 doodles a week, or 3 to 4 Shih Tzus, or whatever, they're gonna make more money than a well-educated individual in Nigeria. And the funniest thing about it all, right? It's flipped. In the States, 90% of the groomers are women. There, 95% are men.
Because it's a money making thing. And that's what the men do.
Absolutely. And then women see cleaning dogs as not a profession that they should do.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. But let me ask you this. Wasn't it a huge leap to have dogs come inside the home in Africa?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think here's what happened. Because of social media, and the world is way more connected, and they see how people live in different worlds. So you have a lot of diasporas who have lived in America for a long time, understand the American standards, and they went back home and they stayed and they built and they run their own businesses out there. So those are animal lovers who say, you know what lifestyles we have in the States, we're going to bring back to Nigeria.
Okay, well, that was going to be one of my biggest questions. That my impression of Africa is village,
No,
village dogs
no,
running the whole range and nobody owns anybody.
that's not true. So here's the challenge, right? Africa is the continent, and there's over 56 countries, and each of these countries are different. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this, right? I always want to speak specifically to Nigeria. Do you know majority of the black doctors and surgeons in America are Nigerians?
Yeah.
So if they're making $200,000 to $300,000, where do you think that money is going? Back home. They have roads. The places. There's a huge city. Villages is in traditional areas, countryside, just like how like Seattle has like the wow. But majority of the West African country are very industrialized. They have cars, roads, everything that we have here, they have there, plus more.
Room Pack. Let me tell you about the newest thing from Best Shot's Ultramax Pro line. I'm seriously stoked about these products. First up is Ultramax Hair Hold Spray. It's a mindfully created aerosol-free styling spray. It's flexible and can be layered on for a stronger hold. It's quick drying and has the Ultramax Delicate Sweet Pea fragrance. Next up is my favorite new product in a long time. It's called the Max, and I love it to the max. It's a fragrance-free, ultra-concentrate conditioner and detangler. It's so concentrated that one small bottle makes 10 quarts. It reduces drying time, extends manageability, and aids you in achieving optimal coat performance. Mats and tangles brush away more easily, and it turns your recirculator into a de-shedding machine. Just a few drops in the final rinse or spray it on and dry it in. It's amazing. Check it all out at ultramaxpro.com and see why Barbara and I are so excited. That's ultramaxpro.com. Contact your favorite Best Shot distributor and order some Max and Hair Hold Spray today. For over 30 years, Best Shot has been making masterpieces out of nightmares in record time, made from the best stuff on earth. Where did you stay when you went back there?
Oh, we got a nice Airbnb. We had a driver. We had a security guard. It was four of us that went. I went with Labrie. Labrie owns a mobile grooming salon in California called Fluffy by Nature. And Latonia, she lives in Detroit. She owns LC Pets. And then Gianna, she has a grooming salon in Virginia. And then it's me. So we all went together, and we had this beautiful Airbnb with pool. We had a cook. We had a driver. Let's say it cost us for 3 weeks. It probably cost us about $1,300 for the whole place.
Wow.
And the driver and everything, that's another $1,000. And they fed us, they cooked for us, they took well care of us. And our schedule was we worked from 9 to 4, and then after that we went to dinner and we just kind of enjoyed. And then on the weekends we just kind of like did our own thing. We explored, we did a lot of group activities. It was fun. So from then to now, we've been 3 times already. We've been to Ghana, we've been to Nigeria, and we've been to Nigeria again. And now Tanzania is calling me like, hey, can you come to Tanzania? I'm like, wait, I gotta find funding first for me to go to Tanzania. But the fun part about it is this: I work really hard to be able to go to Africa, experience. There's this thing called Deti December. Deti December is where a lot of the diasporas who have lived here for a long time, they go home in the summer because it's summertime there. They party, they enjoy the New Year's, they take advantage of all of the activities. But after COVID, the Ghanaian government decided to invest over billions of dollars to invite more Americans back home. They call it the Back to Africa movement. So for the last 5 years, you've been seeing a lot of Americans going back to December for 3 weeks. Festival, musicians, American musicians, they come in, they party, they're having fun. There's money being poured back into the economy. And here we are, we having fun, but then now we're doing this grooming education with kids that want to become groomers. So it's really good. But I do want to add one thing. Paragon School has been very instrumental to us. And the reason why I want to say that is this: we all groomers, all four of us, we learned grooming different way. I went to American Academy of Pet Grooming in New York. Another groomer learned from a groomer. The other one went to another school in California. So when we were able to use the Paragon teaching methods, it brought all of us together to be able to teach one way. And to this day, Joe makes my life easier. He gives us book, he gives us support, he connects us with distributors to bring, because we just don't go back home. We bring tools, we bring clippers, we bring shampoo, we bring a lot of stuff for these kids so that they can continue their grooming education. And what Paragon did this year for us was the biggest. It gave them online access to all the videos that Paragon got in the university.
Impressive. Sometimes my clients don't like a walking air freshener. When these crazy people request a scent-free option, I go right to Show Season.
I think that everybody should have Show Season True Tearless Shampoo and Show Season Hypo Conditioner on hand. Show Season has formulated True Tearless Shampoo with alternative surfactants that are less irritating but still clean very well. And the Hypo Conditioner is one of the best fragrance-free conditioners in the market.
And if you guys would like to find some Show Season True Tearless or Hypo Conditioner, go to showseasongrooming.com. The GroomPod and Precision Sharp would like to invite you to check out the newest Precise Cut shear called Lynx. Its patented design features a thumb ring that slides the length of the handle for perfect ergonomic placement of your thumb. Slide it, lock it into place, and get your best grooms on. Check it out at precisionsharp.com.
You and I need to talk. I want to share some connections with you.
Okay.
Okay, but tell us again, Brian, where you came from and how you got to the United States, because you're an immigrant.
Yes, I was born in this country called Sierra Leone. And in the 90s, there was a war called Blood Diamonds. It's when, unfortunately, at that time, if you ever heard of De Beers Company, there was huge conflicts between two individual military oppositions. So they destroyed the countries, but the diamonds, since what we're known for as our natural resources, was used to fund the war. So that's why they call it blood diamonds. So a lot of these diamonds was exported illegally. It didn't have the seal of approval, and then in return, they used the funds to overtake the government. So that I came here right before it happened, but a lot of my family experienced where their arms got cut, their legs got cut. They've been through a lot of stuff. So luckily, I'm the oldest for my mother. I was able to come to America. I lived in New Jersey. What really saved me is that I was a long distance runner. So I was able to get a scholarship to go to college because of my long distance skill set. So yeah, so that's the beginning of my education in the States.
So are you a naturalized citizen of the United States?
Yes, I became naturalized citizen after 10 years. And I'll never forget it. It was like My freshman year in college, my permanent residence is about to expire, and I had to come home to get it. And I was so nervous because I had waited way too long to apply, and I finally got my application. And that day, my car broke down. So I literally had to run like probably 3 miles from my house to the place just to go get my interview. Because if I missed that interview, I would have to wait 3 to 4 months, and I couldn't do that because it would have messed up my schooling. I got there in time.
Your long distance running served you well then.
Yes, it did, and I was able to get my citizenship in 2001, and I came in '91.
I think you're just one of the most remarkable people that I know.
Oh my God!
Words cannot express how much I admire you and how proud I am of you being a part of our country, especially at this moment, Brian.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
I just want everybody to know about you, and also I'm so proud of what you've done to help groomers of color in our country, to bring brown and black groomers together and build that up. You're the dude, man.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, right? So when I opened Harlem Doggy Day Spa in 2010, I was a business banker for JP Morgan Chase. My friends are like, black people don't love dogs like how other races does. I'm saying, I don't think that's true. I just feel like we never really had the proper resources to do that. So that's what really motivated me to open Harlem Doggy Day Spa with then partners, because I was like, if black people see us taking care of dogs in professional settings, then they'll a lot of them would support our business. And in return, nowadays, the reason why I'm so passionate about getting black and brown people into this space as dog groomers, it's someone like, if he could do it and he's my complexion and he's from where I'm from, then I could do the same thing. So the problem with the industry, we have never really did a good job in being diverse. And my explanation for this is that the way the industry has always been set up, it's like your mother was a groomer, so you became a groomer. So it was just brought down per family. And then now, over the years, they had all these schools that kind of touch grooming. Then the Pet Smarts, the Petco, do a lot of their own academy. But the core issue is the core philosophy around dog grooming is like, if your family were groomers, one of you kids are going to be groomers. So there wasn't a lot of black and brown, people who are groomers. So if I have kids, if I have 3 or 4 kids, one of them may become a groomer or run a grooming business. But what has happened now is that those baby boomers, the kids saw how hard that their mother or father worked in a grooming salon that they don't want to be groomers. So now, where does the next generation of groomers come from? That's the question.
Yeah.
That is the question.
Tell me if I didn't hit it on the nail.
You did. That's why you got a ding.
Yeah.
That's what that ding is for. I have a few more questions about teaching in Africa because I'm curious. What was the teaching environment like? Were you in a salon? Were you at a vet hospital?
Yeah, so the thing about the vet, they figured this out. So the lady who owned the vet came from Germany and she married a Nigerian man. So they have this big mansion, actual mansion, and he has like two outdoor housing, and they cemented the place. So they turned one of the outdoor housing into a bathing station, and the other house was daycare boarding, and they had a grooming area. So the grooming space was probably like 500 square feet, could fit about 25 students. So we did a lot of the education in the yard, and then when we did the hands-on, we went into the grooming room. Because the first, like, it was 2 weeks. The first couple of days you have 25 people. By like 6 or 7 days, you really have like a good 15 core people who are very passionate and interested in that. So we were able to give them tools. They tested it out, and every day that they came in, they got an extra tool. So one day, everyone got the clippers. Most of the clippers were donated or used clippers that we got fixed. The next day, people got 7 blades. The next day, people got 10 blades. The next day, people got curved scissors, shear scissors. So every day you came, you got something. So by the end, we made sure they had 10, 7
So smart.
five clippers, and 2 shears. That's what we made sure they had. And then when we went back 9 months, 10 months later, we gave them more stuff. So that way, now from the 15, we have a good 7 core good groomers who are making good money. 2 of them opened up their own business, and we still support them now in Nigeria. And then we have another 7 of them in Ghana that we still support now, and we try to get tools and stuff. So when we go back this year, one of the spaces that one of the kid has, we're gonna renovate it and then open it up so that he can do the workshops to new potentials, individuals that want to learn grooming. We don't longer work with the veterinary office because the thing about this industry, people just get to this point, and no shade to them. It's like, yeah, we're training them to be our competitors. So it's like that's this philosophy is just out there in the grooming world. When you train somebody, sometimes they become your competitor, your next competition. But in reality, there's enough business for everybody. So we just taking a different organic approach, and we want to create a we call it a workshop training center. So wherever you at, we're gonna meet you there. That's our goal.
Curiosity asks, okay, well, really, I'm asking, how did the dudes do getting instructions from the ladies?
It was tough. I think that because I was there, and there's this thing about because I'm an African man and I'm older than them, there's this pure respect of sir, ma'am. So they always calling us sir and ma'am. And because we're from the States, they truly respect that because this was the first time they had any formal education. And two, we're from the States. So there's this level of superiority that's there when we're in there. So we try to break those barriers down. We try to make everyone comfortable. And I think they really appreciate us more. So it wasn't no issues with you're a woman, I'm not taking no instructions from you.
How did you have to alter your teaching style while you were there? Like, were you able to teach the basics? Did you go into styling? What were you able to do?
Nope, we just focus on the basics. Paragon got a book that we use, and it really focused on the 5 stages of grooming. So we just focused and try to condense everything in one, and then we gave them the workbook. So each of them got the workbook, and we just followed Paragon style of training. Paragon have simplified grooming. It really has simplified the way the grooming is set up. So I think what we wanted to do was to get the ones who actually have put clippers to dogs to continue putting clippers to dogs, and the ones who haven't put clippers to dog, we taught them the basics, like how to bathe the dog, how to fluff out a dog, how to cut nails, how to do all that, so that when they're ready to put clippers to dogs, they can do it alone on their own. And a lot of times, most of them had their own dogs, so they was able to do practice. We set up a WhatsApp page, and to this day, they send us pictures and videos of what they've learned so far.
Tell me about the most memorable moment you've had in like the last 3 trips. Something that really moved you, that was really special, grooming related or otherwise, it doesn't matter.
2 of the students have got a job in what's this country called?
Sure, I put him on the spot.
This Middle Eastern country. I can't think of it. They do a lot of cats there. It's not Dubai. It's Qatar. I funded one of them. I had to send money. It's like $500 to get them their visa appointments and all that. They was able to get a job offer that would pay them more than what they would have got in Nigeria. So 2 of them left, and they're doing really well. I followed them to this day that they were able to leave the country and go somewhere and make enough money. And they plan to come back and open a bigger space as they build. They have a 2-year contract. So I think to me that was the most emotional thing where we actually impact and change people's lives. You know what I mean? And it came from donations from GoFundMe. We literally gave people the opportunity to get a visa, a work visa, to go to another country to then use the skill set that we've been able to teach them in 2.5 years.
You're truly an extraordinary person, and I'm so grateful that Barbara and I have gotten to know you just a little bit through the podcast. Just one of those things that the podcast is open for us.
Thank you.
How about a funny story? Is there a funny story from your adventures?
Uh, I think You know, one of the sweetest things, that's not funny, one of the sweetest things they, for like Latonia, her birthday was in February. They literally went out their way. They made a cake. They had like traditional outfits and a lot of things for us to celebrate us. They did a toast, and then I got this picture, this like canvas of all the dogs, and every single one of them signed it and offered to me as a
Ah,
gift. I think that to
oh,
me, it's to see them more grow that I'm happy about. So it's not really funny because they are funny. We relate in funny ways, but just to see that, oh my God, I can, I'm leaving a legacy of helping others in a very special way. It's fun. So there's not a like a dog jump off the table all the time. Like what's fun to me is the smile that you put in people's faces because they've been able to make more money doing this than whatever they were doing before. They were able to feed their family. So that's what I appreciated. But just to kind of twist that, that's what we're trying to do in Rikers Island. I was going to tell you guys about that. So we're working with Rikers Island in New York, and they have some second chance citizens from 18 to 21.
oh, fucking A.
Yes, with this
Ah,
program called Pause for Justice Purpose. They have like a training program in the jail, and now we're looking to collaborate to do a dog grooming program where unfortunately we can't really do too much in the prison, but it's to do like the program where we teach them the basic of a bather, and then when they come out, we will connect them with a networks full of dog grooming salons in New York that's looking for a trained bather. And hopefully we can also possibly open a grooming school because the one in New York has already closed down. So when we can do, the second segment of dog grooming, which is the actual grooming itself, because I truly believe to be a groomer, you have to have a strong foundation as a bather.
oh, yes.
This just warms my heart.
Said it. I've had thoughts about going to a women's prison and trying to work with incarcerated women. But Brian, are things better for you as a black man groomer than they were a few years ago?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, I'll be trying to figure this out. I'm a very sweet person, but I have a stern look and personality, and I think in the industry, I think some people don't understand it. Like I'm not in the grooming groups, the Facebook groups, bashing other groomers, talking crazy. I'll be in my own world. I'll be on my TikTok, my YouTube, and I'm having fun and I'm talking to pet parents. I've never competed before. So I always feel like the outsider, like this oddball.
But you shouldn't have to compete.
I know, but so when you ask me that questions, is that it takes a very special person with a kind heart to want to do what I do. I'm not one of the popular groomers. I don't have a lot of followings. I don't do all these different creative stuff. I'm a business owner, but I'm also a dog groomer. They're hand in hand. They married each other really well. I understand my business. I know how to motivate people, but I'm also a good groomer that can do amazing work. I feel like if I was a Gabriel Fatoza or one of these bigger groomers who have been they have worked in the ring so much, maybe I would get more followings and more support. I really fight for everything I get from the distributors who feel like, hey, they haven't benefit from donating to us, to the groomers who some of them come on board just to get some notoriety and they're not truly passionate about what we're doing. Even getting funding to do this kind of work, it's challenging. It's like I'm fighting to get people on board. So I have made a lot of changes to focus more on the core individuals that really passionate about what we're doing, and we try to do it at our pace. I got burned out the last 2 years. I had too many individuals that was part of the tour where they didn't see the same visions that I did. So when you ask me that question, is that I'm just looking for right people who want to support, want to partner up, that really see the true visions and knowing that it's about doing something good for others. It's not about you getting some notoriety. that, hey, I've done this. I just did my good deed. I think every small business, because I say this all the time for my personal business, I have an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I take building my business, and 20% of that time I take finding ways to give back to the pet community that I serve. Because when I do that, they give me so much more. I think a lot of people spend more time building a business and no time finding ways to give back in this industry because they only see the industry one way. They say this is pet grooming. When you look at the full industry, I go to daycare expos, I go to nonprofit animal care expos. I'm going there next month. I go to dog daycare and boarding expos. I go to dog training expos. I go to veterinary expo. I go to retail food expos. I understand this industry. I study. I'm passionate about it. So when I'm looking at the food industry, I'm not looking at it from a dog groomer eyes. I'm looking at it as someone who's, you know what, I'm an innovator, I'm a disruptor. I'm trying to find ways where you can bring people and pets together in a very unique way. And on top of that, I'll make some money doing it. But at the end of the day, is that if I accomplish that goal where people are closer to the pets, they have the proper education, and pet groomers or pet professional are very highly respected in the industry as professions, I think I accomplished my goal.
I think you're well on your way.
Yeah.
It hasn't become any easier.
It's not easy, but anything that is good is not easy. I feel like I gave you the long story, but anything that's good is not easy.
Yeah.
I'm another one that I came from the outside into the inside. I kind of rose to some respectable place without doing any competitions or any popularity contests.
Popularity contest, yes.
I just did it through speaking and teaching at seminars. When I started out, you didn't even get invited to do that unless you were a competition groomer.
Wow.
That was just where everybody came from. And it still happens to a large extent. I understand how that popularity crap works and doesn't work. They can build you up and tear you down so fast. We wanted to tell you about our friend Jennifer Bishop Jenkins went to Saudi Arabia a couple of months ago. She does a presentation about coat types and of different. It's kind of technical, but it's about coat care and how to take care of dogs. But they invited her to come to a place in Saudi Arabia and talk about how to get dog grooming started.
Oh, I would love to connect with her.
Interesting to hear that you had students break off and go to Qatar, and I recognize they're doing cats.
They do a lot of cats.
That's house pets are cats. But so then there has to be this breakthrough of accepting dogs as also
Do you know why they do cats in those countries?
because dogs are considered horrible by the religion.
Yes, I'm Muslim. So the biggest challenge is a lot of people misinterpret this. Like if the area that you pray at, that's the area the dog can't go. And then if you keep your dog regularly clean, there's a great chance that not an agent carrying stuff. While cats are so independent, they won't go certain areas. So that's what the challenge is overall. But I think because of the way the world is so connected through social, that is changing. And this is why they Middle East want dog groomers. Because people with money have whatever they want. And the one thing they have is dogs. Oh wow.
When we get off, I will send you a link to the episode that Jennifer Jenkins Bishop was on with us, and you can listen to it. You'll enjoy it. Cool. Excellent. Well, Brian, we should probably let him go.
Thank. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to these girls, see what's going on, and but thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And I appreciate you guys having me on. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do a lot of podcasts because I always try to add. I'm like, what is the value of doing this? So I enjoy doing yours.
Well, thank you. And I want to extend any time that you need to get the word out about anything that you're doing, please just send me a message
Okay.
and we'll talk about it for you.
We are not just fans, we're your supporters.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We want to make a contribution. I mean, at least I want to make a contribution to you. I want to help you do what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate
And
that.
so please feel free to use us as a source of information. And, you know, we have a pretty diverse following
I love that.
Yeah.
because I love that. Because I want to live in a full flourished flower garden.
Absolutely.
One of the main things I did not like, I had to choose between playing the drums and teaching ethnic drumming, which is what I used to do, or devoting myself more seriously to grooming, because I was doing the two things for several years, about 15 years. I loved doing the drumming because it attracted a multitude of various types of people.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have African visitors come and teach us African rhythms and stuff like that. And we loved that. But I loved grooming and I was making more money by grooming.
Mm-hmm.
And when my hands started to get tired, I had to choose, am I going to bang on the drums or am I going to scissor dogs?
Mm.
And I chose the dog grooming, but I so missed the diversity, and dog grooming for decades has been such a white bread.
But I think it's changing, though. I think it's changing.
And it is changing. It's changing, but slowly. It's hard to, as two white women, to just say, well, we want to support more groomers of color because it's hard to come off authentic with that. But that's the truth. That's where our hearts are. So anytime you want to spread a word or to ask for money or to whatever, and I'd like to set you up with connections to show season animal products and to Best Shot, where we have close contacts and they're sponsors of ours for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And because these are companies that might be willing to send products with you.
Absolutely. I know we have a relationship with Show Season. Sometimes she just wants me to be all. She wants me all to herself. And I'm like, I can't give you all of me.
You're too valuable. We have to share you with the entire world.
Thank you so much.
It's the truth. That's the way we feel. All right. Well, thanks for being here, everyone. Brian, please tell us all the places people can find you.
Yes. Dogfather Harlem. You can find me on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Where else? I think those are the main ones right now.
Excellent. And happy grooming, everyone. See you next time on the GroomPod. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. We love you.